Hey folks, I'm Nick Hawks with Paleo Treats talking to you about paleo versus keto diets. This is the first in a 4-part series on paleo versus keto. So let's talk about the big picture first between paleo and keto. Paleo is a diet of ingredients. So no gluten, no grain, no dairy. Really what you're looking for is lots of high quality, nutrient dense vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, a little bit of really nice protein. Keto, on the other hand, is a diet of macronutrients. So the focus for keto is on fats, proteins, and carbs and the ratios and the amount. So on keto, you want a really high fat content, say 70% of your total calories are coming from fats, and then the rest coming from proteins and carbs, and you're actually keeping those carb calories really low. Let's say less than 50 grams a day of carbs, sometimes less than 20, depending on what kind of keto and how strict you're being. So that's the big difference between the two diets. Let me walk you through a couple meals so you see kind of how it plays out in real life. A paleo breakfast might be a veggie scramble. So you get a couple eggs, fresh off the farm, fresh out of the chicken. Get some vegetables in there, maybe some starchy tubers or starchy vegetables, because you're not really worried about high or low carbs on paleo. It tends to be a lower carb diet, but that's not the focus. The focus is on the ingredients and the quality of the ingredients. So you have the nice veggie scramble, and that'll be a super good breakfast for paleo. On the keto side of the house, you might have a butter coffee, so you have some caffeine that'll start that fat burning off, and then you put butter in there, maybe some coconut oil. You're adding fats into there to make sure that your body is burning fats and not sugars. You could also have some bacon. You might have some kale or lettuce, really low carb vegetables, and that would be your breakfast on keto. Maybe you have some sausages. For lunch and dinner for paleo peeps will be very similar. There'll be a very small amount of high quality protein, and then the rest of your plate covered with a colorful salad. So lots of different vegetables, couple fruits, maybe 1 or 2 pieces of fruit, nuts and seeds. On the keto side of the house, for lunch, you're gonna really focus on fat. And so you might have processed meat. So you're gonna get a little bit of protein there, lots of fat. You get a processed cheese, lots of fat there. You might do fish cakes, so like a really fatty fish, and have a maybe sour cream, so you're getting lots of fat there, and maybe do really low carb vegetables like lettuce or spinach, stuff like that. For dinner, the paleo meal is going to be pretty similar. So a small amount of protein. We think about protein the size of your palm or less, of really high quality, so grass-fed steaks, some really free-range chicken, organic stuff, all of that kind of idea, and then lots and lots of colorful salad. So basically you're filling the rest of your plate with salad. And then on the keto side of the house, you might have lamb kebabs, so a nice fatty cut of meat. And then again, really low carb vegetables to go with that. You might have some avocado, Lee's killing me in the back there. You'd have really kind of a high fat focus for your meals. So that would be kind of how the day might shake out for paleo and keto folks. And then there's 3 more things to say before we cut this and then go on to the next section. And those are, first is this idea of false foods. We see a lot of people trying to make their old diet, their standard American diet, paleo, or trying to make it keto depending on what they're doing. So they'll make donuts or cookies or whatever, and they'll put in these false foods, these fake sugars, sneaky sugars, so erythritol, xylitol, stuff like that, and they'll try and make what they used to have paleo or keto. It doesn't really work like that. Both of these diets, paleo and keto, require for max benefit a full buy-in. So you're going to do paleo, you're not going to worry about trying to translate your old diet, trying to make waffles, paleo waffles or keto waffles. You're just going to say, hey, for a while, I'm just not going to do waffles, and then every so often, if you want to do it, we can talk about moderation later, jump in. The second thing is food quality, food quantity and timing. So how much you eat goes down on the paleo diet because you're eating such nutrient-dense food. You don't need to eat as much of it because it is so high in nutrients. You're eating really high-quality steak, really high-quality vegetables, really high-quality meat in general, so you're going to eat less of it. On the keto side, they do this timing piece, which is intermittent fasting, so they'll compress their feeding window. That'll also happen in paleo, but that's a main focus of keto, is they'll skip 1 or 2 meals a day. And when you do that, you can't jam enough calories into you to make up for those skipped meals, so you end up eating less food. Now, in both of those diets, you're still going to get plenty of good calories. You're still going to have plenty of food. It's not like you're starving yourself. It's just a different way to think about taking in your calories, and what happens overall when you go nutrient dense or you compress your feeding window is you have overall less calories total. And then there's the factors that go beyond diet, and this is more specific to paleo, is we think of paleo as a lifestyle. So it's not just diet, there's exercise, there's time in nature, time in the community, making sure you're building those connections with friends and family, time restoration. So like kind of thinking of the whole picture of what was it like to be human for 2 million years, not just the last 1,000 or 10,000 or the last 10. That's a good overview of the start of Paleo versus Keto. I will catch you next time in section 2 of the Paleo versus Keto series. Thanks so much for watching. Ciao, ciao.